Good Monday morning. May the 4th be with you. And also with you. Okay, this morning we are going to talk about bones and a natural advantage that's going on with our immune systems right now. What might that be? Natural sunshine. If you have heard recently in the news, this is something that President Trump has been mentioning. And he has mentioned, and he even got in trouble for a while back because he said that with the COVID virus, once the sun and it started to heat up, he said the heat actually is going to take care of the virus. Well, you know, he just tried his best to communicate some things he probably heard. But here's what happens. When the temperatures do warm up outside, our immune systems naturally start to rise. Our natural defenses will come up as temperatures come up because it's not that you don't catch a cold. Your immune system is depleted because of cold because it takes more energy. It's a greater stressor on your body. But when it's warmer outside, there's less stress on your body and the immune system can naturally rise. That's what's happening right now. Is a day like this past weekend was gorgeous, right? Look at Saturday. It wasn't a cloud in the sky. Yesterday had its moments too. So plenty of sunshine to be had. And let me tell you, I was out there most of Saturday digging holes, planting shrubs, and it was beautiful. My skin was making vitamin D, and I was loving every minute of it. So this is what we're looking for. When we leave winter and we're getting into spring and we're out in the sunshine and in the skin cells we have make vitamin D, it synthesizes activated vitamin D, which is exactly what we want, and especially what we want for our immune system. Because remember, every cell in our body has vitamin D receptors, like little cups all the way around the membrane of it, that receives that vitamin and helps the cell function more vitally. Increases the energy of the cell. We were talking about this last week. I wanted to continue with it because energy is key. Energy is important. It's what people are interested in. So many people come into the clinic and they say how depleted they are. And remember I talked about fuel quality, right? So to add to that, I really wanted to just touch on vitamin D sources that are quite common. These are very affordable sources, and these are probably some of the best you can get. Cataplex D and cod liver oil. Now, Cataplex D is in a tablet, and you can't go wrong with this one. It's $21 for 180 of these things. So it's really a great price point for top shelf supplements. You can get cheaper stuff anywhere, like I said before, right? But you get what you pay for with food supplementation. Cod liver oil especially. I take 1 to 2 of these every day. Never have burped them the first time. In fact, my granddaughters chew these things. They mix it with sunflower oil, and it knocks the fishy taste down. So you can actually chew these things, and they're not bad. They're not bubble gum, but they're not bad. Now, why did I pair the vitamin D sources with Mintran? Because most people know that the macro minerals that we're supposed to have on a daily basis, like phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, zinc, those are macro minerals. We need a bunch of those per day. And that's what makes our bones good and hard. So if you're a woman out there and you've got brittle bone disease that's been labeled osteopenia or osteoporosis, if you have porosis, you've got a couple other issues. But if you have osteopenia, you can actually rebuild bone. Your body's always pre-programmed to rebuild bone, but you need mineral to do it to give it its hardness. You can make bone matrix. So think of it this way. Think of our skeleton as the framework of a bone, and that's where your matrix is. And then the rest of our tissues, that's where the mineral is. That's what makes bone good and hard, is it's got an internal framework, like a lattice, and then it has minerals that attach to it that make it really solid and strong. One of your best food sources is celery. And what's interesting about celery is it's shaped like a bone, but it actually has a lot of mineral content, a lot of electrolyte content, and it helps harden our bones. So just real quick, I wanted to jump on here this morning and show you Mintran. This is a fundamental. Any fundamentals I show you, there'll be generally two different sizes. There'll be a smaller size and a larger size. The larger size is 800 tablets. But these are ongoing nutrients and minerals that are really, really inexpensive and affordable to help supplement what you're not getting in your food. A lot of these are alfalfa and kelp sourced. So they're minerals that are plentiful in the sea that the plant soaks up, and then they put them in these supplements. And they taste pretty good too. You don't chew these by any stretch, but they're not bad tasting. So that's why these are paired, because most people know that our bodies require vitamin D to deposit minerals in our bones. So if you ladies out there have had a diagnosis of either borderline osteopenia or osteoporosis full blown, this is cheap insurance. And it's a great way to give your body the minerals it needs so that it can function more normally. And I even give this to folks that are having trouble sleeping, because Mintran is short for mineral tranquilizer. It's not a drug, it's not a pharmaceutical, but when our brains don't have the full mineral complement it should, we don't rest well. When you give the body the minerals it's supposed to have, guess what happens? We start to rest better. So keep that in mind. Remember what I talked about in an earlier video about rest and pixelation. That's the last thing I want to talk about. There was I think it was a Harvard study. They studied people that were watching televisions, computer monitors, iPads, and the like before they tried to go to sleep at night. And the pixelation from the screen, when it penetrated the eye, through the optic nerve, back to the pineal gland, it disrupted good sleep patterns in folks. So keep that in mind. I don't recommend going to bed with the television on or laying there with your iPad in your face, because it can potentially, it doesn't mean it will, it potentially can cause disruption in sleep patterns. So I hope this was helpful. Great sources of vitamin D and minerals. They are relatively inexpensive, but they are top shelf. You're hard pressed to find better sources of nutrients that our bodies need that are not in our food anymore than Standard Process. They have a great website too, by the way, www.standardprocess.com. They're the exclusive distributor of MediHerb products, which are all herbal, made in Australia. Extremely, extremely successful company. It's all they do. They don't make oils, candles. They're not multi-level marketing. All they do is make terrific whole food supplements that are highly absorbable by the body. That means you're putting your dollars into your body and not passing them down the urinal or the commode. So if you're taking cheaper vitamins and you've noticed the color of your urine change, then that's what you're doing. You're urinating or you're defecating away your dollars. Sorry for the crudeness, but that's the truth. If you want to have your body absorb nutrients best in supplement form, go to the top shelf. I promise you that is the best way. And if anyone knows how truly big a tightwad I am, I will not buy cheap vitamins for that reason alone, because even though I've saved money on the front side, my body doesn't recognize it as a food source and a nutritional source. It passes it. And then you'll do the same. You'll see. Don't take my word for it. Test it out if you don't believe me. Be critical of everything I say all the time, because if I'm going to speak on this and send it out to you, you can rest assured that I've done my homework on the backside first. Take care. I appreciate you all. Have a terrific week and a wonderful Cinco de Mayo tomorrow, and I'll be talking to you soon.